Hey guys, my name is Kamran Waziir, and in this video we are going to talk about how to make grass blade in Blender. Well, I'm starting a series of making natural asset, and in this series we're going to talk about how to make grass, how to make rock, how to make different kind of asset that can be used in nature. Why I'm doing that? Because sometimes people use assets from different websites like Sketchfab and Quixel. They make the model, they make the scene, they make the landscape and everything. But when they render it out, they don't really feel that it's there. Like for example, if I downloaded grass and trees and other stuff from Sketchfab and I use them in my yeah, in my render in my 3D scene, then when I render it out, I will feel like it's not mine, like it's from somewhere else, and I'm just using the ready stuff, which is not like a professional thing. Sometimes you can get copyright stuff, but in this series, we're going to talk about every single asset that from from a grass blade to a huge trees. All of them will be covered in this course, from modeling it to setting up all the shadows, and in the end of the course we're gonna end up with some amazing looking landscape, so you can keep up with us and you can hit the subscribe button for more videos like that. And let's begin it. So right now we're in Blender and we're gonna make some grasses, some grass blade. So for these I'm gonna select all of them by hitting A, X, and delete them. So I'm using an image that I will also give you a link to, of a grass blade. Yeah, let me just tell you that in those video we're gonna explore the ways to make things. So for a grass model, you can just model a random shape, but I love references because reference makes things looks real. So let's use a reference image of a grass model, of a grass blade. Shift A. I'm gonna go for image, mesh plan, or you can also just create Shift A, image, reference, and go ahead to where you have that file. So let me just grab it. It's here, that one. So this is the grass blade we're gonna use in this video. And yeah, that's not the one. We're gonna use different of them with different shapes. So let's begin it. Okay. So I'm gonna hit Shift A. I'm gonna add a mesh and I'm going to add a plane. This is gizmos. While I'm holding my phone on on my left hand and I'm controlling mouse on the right hand, so that's why I'm gonna use gizmo here. So I'm gonna go to selection, scaling tool. I'm gonna scale it down like that. The reason I'm using my phone because I don't have mic yet and I'm trying to buy one, but just for now, I I'm using my phone, and the reason is that uh, I was having a mic and uh, it doesn't work, but I'm gonna buy another one. So right now, if you go to wireframe, we can see, okay, select this one and go to scaling tool, scale it like that and move it just a tad. Okay, so select these two vertices like that, and a selection tool, scale it on x-axis just like that. Okay, so now it's time to extrude it. I'm gonna hit E and Control Z. Okay, so I'm gonna go into edge selection mode and hit E to extrude. I'm gonna extrude it forward like that, SX, and scale it on X-axis like that, E and X, Y, something like that. Just hit G to move it, so you can place it on perfect spot. Scale X, hit E on Y-axis like that, and hit G to place it on a perfect position. S and X to scale it on X-axis like that. So let's just hit E again, extrude, just trace it around, and because we want something perfect, so let's just do it. Control Z, SX, just a tad, not so much. Hit E again, extrude it up here, something like that. Hit SX and scale it like that. hit E, extrude, SX, and scale it on X axis, something like that. Hit E, extrude, S and X, hit E, extrude it like that, S and X, and scale it on X axis. Hit G, move it like that, hit E, extrude, and S and X like that. Sorry, I'm gonna do it again. I'm not gonna make it faster. I'm not gonna cut anything because I want to share exclusive stuff for free, so you can follow every single step that I'm doing and I'm working on. Okay, yeah, done. So we have a 3D gross bled. So now it's time to give it material. Well, we're gonna model some other of them with different shapes, but for now I'm gonna show you how to uh, how to do it, how to give it the material, and how to make it real. So I'm gonna hide these empty, and I'm gonna rotate it maybe from top axis, from Z axis. I'm gonna go and open up a new window here. I'm gonna change it to shader editor. I'm gonna click new, and I'm gonna click add. I'm gonna go to texture. I'm gonna click image texture. I'm gonna click open, and I'm gonna go ahead to the directory where I have the image. So it's in this folder, natural, and let us grab this color into the base color. And if we just go to material view, as you can see, it's white. So let's fix it. Go to edit mode, hit A to select everything, hit U, and click project from view. So now if you go to UV editor, you can see we need to place it on the right spot to get a perfect UV map. So I'm going to select everything and hit S. I'm going to scale it. I'm going to hit G to move it like that. Zoom on it and try to place it on perfect spots. Okay, I think I just need to scale it a bit. Hit G and move it. Well, I could make it faster, but I don't because I want you to listen to everything I say. I want you to not miss any point because you always ask question in the comments that what you did here. Okay, so let's be precise with it. Let's just select it and move it. Hit G, move it, scale on X, like that. Now move it. Hit G, move it like that. Okay, I think this is moving outside. Hit G, move it inside. Okay, so now if we go to object mode, as you can see, we got this model. Let me just rotate it on X 90 degree and move it. Okay, so it's very straight. Like we don't want it to be so much straight. We just need to give it a bit of curvature. So I'm going to select the top one. I'm going to turn on the proportional editing tool. I'm going to move it towards y-axis. I'm going to scroll the wheel so the influence is going to be more. Something like that. And I think it's fine. Now you can make a bunch of them from this one model. If you go to edit mode, select everything, go to top axis, shift D, duplicate it, rotate it. Oh, we have this tool turned on. Turn it off and just go to rotation, rotate it, and you can also come up here and change the 3D cursor so you will be able to scale it from here, from 3D cursor, so you can get variation in them. And you can also change the shape for other bleds. I'm going to turn out proportional editing again. You can hit G. Okay, so first of all, let's again change it to median point and hit G. Let's just scroll the wheel to decrease the influence. So as you can see, it's influencing the other objects. So you can just come up here, click connected only. So it's going to only affect the connected area. So I'm gonna hit G. I can now move it anywhere I want. I want it to be like that, maybe slightly this axis. Something like that. Maybe I can move it just to turn this off and turn this on. G, X, decrease the influence and move it like that. So you can get different sort of look. Go into edit mode again, select these and hit L to select this part. Let's just move it slightly here. Select this one, hit L, and you can duplicate it again by hitting Shift D, duplicate, rotate Z 90 degree, something like that. You can move it to X-axis like that. And yeah, you can just click S and scale it down like that. You can just go to this axis and align it again. Okay, so we got 3 bleds. Now we can model other of them. But first let's set up some material, some perfect material. But before setting up materials, we're gonna get into the environment, into the world. Let me just click this yellow dot and click environment texture. I'm gonna hit open and I'm gonna go ahead to the HDRI. You can download a huge amount of HDRI from Polyhuman if you want. Just go into polyhuman.com to get so many textures with so many HDRIs there. As you can see, you can get a bunch of them. They are totally free, so you can just use it in every project that you're working on. So right now I have some of them. I'm gonna use that one. Okay, so let's set some rendering. First, we are in EV render. I'm gonna change it to cycles. I'm gonna turn on GPU compute. I'm gonna click denoise. I'm gonna make the sample, but I'm not gonna talk about it right now. Under film, I'm gonna click transparent. See, we don't see the HDRI. Like for example, if transparent, we can see HDRI, but if it's transparented, you don't see. Right now, it's look very solid. I'm gonna click shader auto smooth. I'm gonna go to shader editor. As you can see, it's looking not that bad, but as you can see, it's very rough. In real life, on a gross blade, the light can pass through these. Like when there is a gross blade, if you look at these, if you use your torch to light it up, and you will see that the light is passing through these. Let me just give you an example really quick. So let me just subsurface lighting or something like that. Images, something like that. As you can see, if you just take your mobile phone and turn on your torch and put your hand in front of it, you will see that the light is passing through these. Now, if the light can pass through our hand, then it also can pass through a gross blade. So in order to achieve that realism, we can come up here and we can add, go to shader and click add shader, just connect it up here. And now click add, go to shader, and you can add translucent BSDF. You can also play around with the subsurface here, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to add a translucent shader. I'm going to connect it to here. So as you can see, everything's white because the color is white. But if we grab the color from here to here, as you can see now, the light is passing through these. If you go to render settings, light paths, you will see transparency and also transmission. Just increase it in case you have so many of them. And as you can see now, the light can pass through these and it's looking really cool. If you just move it aside and I add a plane, mesh a plane, I'm gonna scale it up like that. And I can now go to particle, either new particle, it's a hair, advanced. You can increase the particle to something like 5000 for now, and go ahead into render. Under path, just select object, and in object just select the gross model. So as you can see, it is very uniform. So come up to source, change jitter to random, and click rotation, click just randomize the phase. Why it's not doing it then? I'm gonna go to solid. Okay, so first of all, let's randomize the scale. Just decrease the scale just a tad, not so much, and click object rotation. So as you can see, it's not correctly rotated, so we're going to rotate it on x 90 degree. Y, yeah, rotate it that way and it will face the right direction. We can randomize the phase, randomize this one also. If we now increase the number to a crazy amount like 10,000 or something. Oh, it's just 10,000. And if we go to render, so right now they're looking very uniform because we need variety. So we're gonna add some other bleds into it. But first of all, let's give this object a material. I'm gonna add a new material. So I'm gonna go to edit. I'm gonna go to preferences. Under add-on, I'm gonna turn on add-on called node wrangler. It's very useful just to turn these on. And now you can select the principal BSDF and hit Control Shift T. So you can load PBR material if you want. Asset. You can also get PBR material from polyhuman.com, which is really good. Okay, so now let's add some texture. So I got some ground texture. This one. Let me just select it. Principal texture. So go into edit mode, hit A, just subdivide it many times. Go into object, go into solid. So under settings, just change it to displacement and bump. Let's just first save the file to where we want. I'm gonna name it grass. Save Blender file. Let's just go to render. Okay, so as you can see, it's moving strangely. I don't know. So now it's time to play around with scale. I'm gonna make it 0.01. And you can play with UV. Just go to UV editor, click tab to go into edit mode. Hit A, select everything and hit S. To scale up, hit tab and go into object mode again. Okay. So now we got something like that. Let's just add some variation. I'm going to turn this plan off. This one. Now we just have one of it. Now it's time to add some more of them. So let's do it right away. But before we add more of them, we can just tweak this around. If you go to material, and if you go to shader editor, so click, just come up here, just grab these and search for bump and to height and connect the normal into the normal. What it does, it will add some extra detail. For example, if I play around with the strength, as you can see, it's adding some fake displacement, which makes it realistic. So I'm going to leave this at 0.3 or something like that. You can also play around with the roughness value, but you can connect the color with the roughness also. You can also control it with a color ramp. You can increase the white value, something like that. So as you can see, it is not enough for us because we want to add more of them. We need more bleds. We need more variation to make it real. So let's just do it. So it's time for more advanced grasses. And let's just do it. You go to z-axis. Let's delete the first reference and click add. Go to image, reference, and let's add this one. So it's a bit advanced, but we have to do it because we can. If we can, we do. Okay, so Shift A. I'm gonna add a plan. I'm first gonna track the first image, then I'm gonna go for the second and the third one. Okay, so let's align it perfectly here. Scale it down. Let's just zoom in. Let's just move it towards here. Go into edit mode. Just select it and hit E. Okay, so we turn on the proportional tool, hit O to turn it off. Rotate, E, extrude, scale it down. Hit G to move it just a tad. You can just move it from here. You can also do it from the middle mouse, but as you know, I'm holding my mic. I'm gonna extrude it like that. I'm gonna just go for this one and extrude it. Something like this. Scale it. Extrude it. Just slightly scale it. Hit E for extruding like that. E extrude. E extrude. And just scale it like that way. E and extrude it. Rotate it. E extrude it. Scale it just slightly. Hit E, extrude, rotate, scale it down like that, hit E again, extrude it. Well, it's a bit, it's taking some time, but if you're building your own asset, you should give it a try and you should wait for these to happen because it's not something that just type in and it will work. It's not artificial intelligence. It's just directly and manually making something. There can be an easier way, but I'm gonna go for this way. And yeah, there is also a way which is called the knife tool, which you just let you mask out the object, but I'm not gonna use it. Okay, so one of it is done. We got two of them. It's time to click Shift A, cursor to select it. Shift A, add a mesh and add another plan. Just slightly move it up. Go to top and hit S. Scale it down like that. Zoom it in, something like this. And go into edit mode, select this one. It's time to do some extruding and some changes. Let's first see where is it. Yeah, it's here. Hit E, extrude. It. And first of all, let's just go to top axis and select all of them. Go into edit mode, hit A and hit U, project from view. We're gonna use the same material for it, but we not that one. I think this one. We're gonna use this material for this object, but we need to click this one to duplicate it. So now we can add another texture into it, which is that one. Let's just go to material. So if you go to top axis and go to UV editor, if we click again U, project from view, and hit A, scale it up, G and move it. Why it's not aligning? U, project from view, orthographic. Okay. So I think if I do it separately, it's going to work. So we go to object, I'm going to select this one, going to add it. Okay, so that's the problem. That's the main problem that we're facing. We just added it into one of it. Let's hide this one and select all of them, and then this one. And now if we click Control L, and now we can link material. Oh, sorry, Control Z. I just clicked the wrong button. Link material. So if you go to top axis and go into solid mode and turn on texture, as you can see, everything is hidden. Because now if you go to edit mode, select everything in U, project from view, and turn off orthographic. If I scale it up like that, as you can see now it's aligning, and this is what we wanted. Scale it down. We need something perfect here. Align it perfectly. Let's just slightly move it. Okay, so by the way, this texture is alpha map. It have alpha map, so I can also connect the alpha into the alpha, so we don't get any white background or black background. So right now, if you go to material view, or maybe render. Okay, so if I just disconnect the normal, okay, so it's looking good, I think. And now if we go to edit mode, select this one, turn on the proportional editing, just G, and move it so we can give it a bit of 3D look. Go to object, now select this one, go into edit mode, select this one, hit G, move it, something like that, maybe. Now go into object, this is going to be a strat one, or maybe we can just slightly, if you go to x-axis, hit G, hit R, and scroll the wheel, so we can rotate it also. We can also move this one a little bit down. Just slightly, not so much. And yeah, we get another piece. You can hit Control J to join them. You get another piece of gross bled. So what you can do, you can just select both of them. So after selecting them, you can hit M, click collection, so they are in one collection. Okay, so click M, new collection, and name it a grass. Hit enter, create. So now they are in a grass collection. If you turn on the plan here and go down and to particles, change from object to collection. And let's just first save the file. And for the collection, we're going to use a gross collection. Okay, so right now we're getting something like that. Hit S. If we go into render, as you can see, if you just play around with randomness, and yeah, we added a bit of variation into it. We can also play around with the phase and also randomize. And yeah, it's all randomized. And yeah, we now can model another models. And if you go and select the other plan and go into edit mode. Okay, so we are missing one of the bled. I can select. Let's select all of them. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, it's fine, totally fine. Okay, so let's just go to edit mode, select everything, and Shift D into Y-axis. Then scale it down to shrink it down. Grab it on X-axis like that. Rotate it on X-axis. Maybe you can change the proportions just slightly so it have a very random shape. Hit enter. Something like that. So right now, if we look at the material, okay, so let's make some of other models also. I'm gonna move it here. Shift A cursor to world origin. Shift A cursor to world origin. Now I'm gonna use another technique of making some gross. File, go to add, image, mesh plan. I'm gonna add this one. Okay, so now it's time for some knife tool. So go into edit mode and okay. So hit K. Let's just go ahead and separate one of the bled. I think this is the easiest way you can think of. It's just hitting K and you will be able to turn on the knife tool. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit enter. And as you can see, we successfully made a blade here. I think I just need to slightly move it. Turn off proportional editing, just hit G. Okay, so come up to options and turn on correct face attribute and hit G so you can move it freely. G and move it. Yeah, that's cool. Now it's time to separate some other model, some other blades also. So hit K. Add another one here. Just go ahead and do it. So we have traced another one also. Yeah, I think it's look fine. So let's just yeah, I think they're enough. So I'm gonna go into face selection mode. I'm gonna select all of them, but I'm gonna select one by one. So as you can see, I selected this one and hit P. Click selection to separate. And now it's time for this one. Okay, so if we go to edit mode and select those three, hit P selection. So we got two of them. Let us set the origin to center of the mouse. Something like that. Okay, so now it's time for the other one also. This one. Hit P selection. Now it's time for this one. Hit P selection. So right now we have those blades. And now if we select all of them, rotate them on x-axis. If we go into edit mode, we can't really add. For example, if I selected the top and I'm gonna turn on the proportional editing, I can just okay. So let's go to options, turn off correct face attribute so it's sticking into it. Let's just add some interesting sort of shape also to this one. So hit G, move it, something like that, S and X. Just scale it on x-axis like that. Let's just select this one and move it. This one also. GX. And move it. I think Control Z. G. And move it like that. Yeah, they're not perfect, so I'm going to select this one. Or maybe I can select this one, hit L. And I can now rotate it. I can move it down like that. I can rotate it. And yeah, we got something like that. So hit Control S and save it. So right now, if we turn off. Okay, so I think I'm going to join them. Or they're separated is okay. Okay, so the main reason they don't look good is if we select this one, go to edit mode and select all of them, hit P by low port so they have their own object. And also do the same for this one, hit A, P, lows by part. And now if we just have a look. Okay, so right now as you can see they are not rotated the same way. So I'm gonna rotate them on y-axis 90°. Enter. And yeah, some of the origin is not correct. I'm gonna select this one, go into edit mode, hit A, and move it like that, so the origin is at the bottom. Now select this one and also go into edit mode, select it and move towards x-axis, something like that, maybe slightly backward. Now select this one, go into edit mode, just move and set the origin to the bottom of it. Go into that one, select it, move it on x-axis. Okay, so if we go into object, Control S and save the file. So I'm gonna duplicate it and I'm gonna rotate it on Y 90 degree. So some of them are staying there. I'm gonna select it, hit H, selected H, and also hide them so we can see what is going on here. So let it hit save. If we go into render, as you can see, we got something looking really good, and we can turn this on. And if we select them and hit Control A and apply the scale, maybe if you go to edit mode and scale them up a bit, if we set it to set by individual origin, and now if we scale them up and go into object mode. Okay, so as you can see, we got something like that. If we turn this off from here, so I think the grass is done and we need to go into solid mode, save the file. Okay, so now it's time for some interesting stuff. If we go to wet paint, and for now I'm going to turn off the particle system and let's add some wet paint into here. And let's just decrease the strength here. Decrease it a little bit more. Increase the strength here. Let's just add some of it to here and decrease the strength here just a bit. Now increase the strength again for this one and make it 1 here. Okay, so if we go into object mode and if we turn on particle system, if we go slightly down under vertex group, select the density and also select the length. So if you zoom in, first of all, let's just decrease the scale just slightly. And if we go into render mode, and as you can see, we successfully got something looks realistic. But the real grass is not that much big, so let's just make it 0.05. Now it's a real scale of a grass, but we need more grass, so we're gonna make it 40K. And I think it's also not enough, but I think it's fine and I love it. Okay. So guys, grass is done and that was for today. If you want to get more like that, just go ahead to my YouTube channel and subscribe it. And thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.